Hi everybody, hello, how are we doing? Today I have a little unboxing for you, as I do on this channel monthly. But this one will be a little bit on the shorter side. I have less things to unbox, and I will talk about why I did not order the February illumicrate subscription. But for now, let's have some fun, and let's jump into my owlcrate. The first thing that I am seeing is the Alchemist and Fae measuring cups. How fun. I'm gonna have the cutest kitchen someday. Just you wait. Okay. So they are just a bunch of measuring cups, which is nice. I do love measuring cups, don't get me wrong. But they look like they have slight engravings. I'm trying not to make the sound because it sounds bad. I'll be honest, I do think that it's really nice for the direction that these book subscription boxes are going with, like giving us a mix of useful items and like fun little fandom items that you don't really need as much. But I do like it because I think a lot of young adults primarily get these book subscription boxes, so I think it's really nice for them to have items like these that they can like start stocking their soon-to-be homes or their first apartments or whatever. And I think that's kind of fun, kind of sweet. I will definitely get use out of these. I do like to bake, and I appreciate that they're metal and not like plastic ones with like a little gimmick or anything, because you know, practicality, I think that the metal with the light engraving is honestly the better way to go. Okay, ooh, the next thing is the February pin collection. I'm really excited. This is the Enchanted Elixirs. And this one is for the Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. A little messy, a little hard to tell what's going on, but I do like it. I think it's very cute. I really like these pins. I think that they're really fun. I won't talk about it forever, but it is still, early in the year, so I have a little bit of room to talk. I like this collection so much more than last year's collection. I can't wait to see what the little pin banner in December is going to look like. I know that's so far away, but I'm already really excited to know what it's going to look like. Like, how is it going to be like a little cabinet? I don't know. I'm excited. The next thing in here is The Hunted Had Fallen for the Hunter. Oh, I know what this is. Well, I know what book this is. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Interesting. So this is a bracelet inspired by the Rebel Witch or the Crimson Moth. Will I ever wear this? I don't know. I'm not a huge bracelet person. I also have like a relatively small wrist. So it is fun though. It is interesting. It's just a very simple like rose and thorn pattern with little like daggers on the side. Oh, with little moths. That's cute. Okay, it is a cute design. I don't think I'll wear it though, to be honest. I'm not a big bracelet person, but in theory, because it's malleable metal, in theory I could flatten it and just probably like use it as a bookmark or something. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, the next thing I'm seeing is the Cleopatra's perfume. So this is from Fiction Bath Co. And the smell is black cardamom, Egyptian lotus, and vanilla bean. Oh, that smells nice. Yeah, I like this one. I like this one a lot. I think this one smells very nice. I can't really describe scents very well. It's kind of my weak spot, but this one does smell very nice. I would love to have this in a candle, to be honest. I never really use these, like, little perfume balms. I feel like I need to start, but, like, I don't know, the thought of, like, rubbing perfume onto my body is, like, a mental hurdle I'm gonna have to get over, you know? This little thing, vicious little thing, toiletry bag. Okay. It's an interesting shape, for sure, because it's more round, but then you can, singe up the top, but it's gonna be very hard. So there's a little inside pocket that can snap in and out, and then I don't know how I'm supposed to show these things to you, but on the inside, yeah, there's a little, there's 4 bands so that you can stick things to the outside and then put stuff in the middle. And I hope that makes the most sense to you. Cute. I actually don't think that I'm opposed to using something like this when I travel. Okay, and then lastly, we have the book, The Beast We Bury by D.L. Taylor. This is so pretty. The back says, "Am I strong enough yet?" Ooh, what does it mean? Why does she need to be strong? This is very, honestly, like, classic and pretty. I'm really into this. I'm really excited. Okay. I'm so excited. Whoa, what this one's about. Oh my gosh. Can we give it a second? That's so cool. I really like the color palette. This is very fun art. But what's really impressive, like, the show-stopping. Oh my god. I'm obsessed. This is clearly going to be some type of wilderness book. Why are there so many animals? This totally fits my vibe. I'm really into this. I'm excited about this. Her bodice, that's so cute. This one's kind of giving me, whoa, interesting. This one's kind of reminding me of when I first got To Kill a Shadow from owlcrate, which turned out to be one of my favorite books last year. So I'm very excited to see what this one is about, and if I'm going to love it as much as I feel I might. Daughter and heir to the throne. Mancella Cliff yearns for a life without bloodshed, but as a child, she emerged from the broken citadel with the power to summon animals, only after killing them with her bare hands. Her magic is a constant reminder of the horrors her father, the ruler of the realm, has forced upon her to strengthen their power. Silver is a charming thief, struggling to survive in a world torn apart by Mancella's father's reign, when a mysterious benefactor recruits him for a heist of a lifetime, a chance to rob the castle. Silver relishes the opportunity for a real future and revenge, and he'll have to manipulate Mance and earn her trust to pull it off. As the deception and carnage mount, Mance must find a way to save her realm without becoming the ruthless monster she's been bred to be. And when Silver discovers that his actions are fueling the violence that Mance wants to prevent, he'll have to choose between his ambitions and the girl he's falling for. Oh, okay, fun. I do love that the twist of this a little bit is just like he has to either give up his dreams and his wants for the girl he loves. I feel like most of these books always end with she has to figure out if what she wants is real or if she wants this man instead. And I'm like, So I like the little gender bend of that. I'm cool with that. I don't love a heist in a book. I'm a little bit worried about that, but it doesn't feel maybe quite as part of the story. It does seem a little bit more focused on like the politics of this. So I am pretty excited about this. I really hope that I love it. It's so pretty. It's such a nice vibe. There we have the first book. Now we can jump into owlcrate Adult. I did this a little out of order this time. This stunning book is Wooing the Witch Queen by Stephanie Burgess. I think that's what it says. I'm not the best person when it comes to reading scripture, like cursive stuff. The back says, she'll do anything to protect the folk she loves. I'm loving, is she the bird? Is this bird her? Can she shapeshift? I'd be into that. That sounds fun. Okay, there's the stencil edges. I love this. I really don't think I've heard of this before. Ooh, but I do like that. I love this a lot. This definitely feels way more romantasy than normal fantasy. I will be interested to see once their quarterly romantasy books come out, how often their adult fantasy will now feel more romantasy or if it'll just lean more adult fantasy in general. I'm not sure. I don't like when they give me images this dark. Like, it is near impossible to see anything, but I do like this man. He looks like an orc, which I do like. Letter. Very dark academia vibes, but like make it a fantasy. Whoa. Okay. Make it fantasy, dark academia, kingdoms and power. I'm very intrigued. Okay, I would love to know what this one's about. I really want to read both of these books, just based off the vibes alone. It's giving, and I'm really here for it. In a gaslit world where hags and ogres lurk in thick pine forests, 3 magical queens form an uneasy alliance, and love turns their world upside down. Queen Saskia is a wicked sorceress everyone fears. After wresting the throne from her evil uncle, she only wants one thing: to keep her people safe. She needs to spend more time in her laboratory experimenting with her spells. She definitely doesn't have time to bring order to her chaotic library of magic. When a mysterious dark wizard arrives at her castle, Saskia hires him as her new librarian on the spot. Fabian, in quotes, is sweet and a little nerdy, and his request seems a bit strange. What in the name of divine Elva is the fountain pen? But he's getting the job done. And if he writes her flirtatious poetry and his innocent touch makes her skin singe, well, little does Saskia know that the wizard, in quotes, she's falling for is actually an imperial archduke in disguise. He is on the run with perilous secrets on his trail and a fast-growing yearning for the wicked sorceress. When his identity is finally revealed, will their love save or doom each other? Oh, okay. Yeah. So, this is obviously a romantasy pick. And I know not everybody is into romantasy, not everybody wants that, but you're giving me a high fantasy setting with ogres and hags, which is already so fun. And then you're gonna give me a magical library with a cute little nerdy man who's also like a wizard. I'm so into this. Oh my gosh, and there's a ribbon bookmark. How cool. Okay, do I have time to read books like I would want to right now? No, simply I don't. But do I need to make an owlcrate reading vlog ASAP? for these 2 books alone. Absolutely. If you're interested in them, please let me know. Please encourage this behavior of mine. I would really like to read these books. And if you want them in a vlog, I can do that. I can do that so fast. The next thing, I believe this is my fairyloot young adults. Alright, the first thing we have is the spoiler card. This is the Bewitching Bargains. First thing I'm seeing is a Kiki's Delivery Service list pack. I love these things, but similar to like the issue of like, oh, I have cute stickers, but like, what's good enough to use them? I am the same way with like notepads and journals. It's like, they're so cute, what simply could I have a use for them to do? Oh my goodness, I love it! It's got little breads and a little Kiki bow and the broomstick and the little kitty. I guess I will be honest in this moment. I have not watched Kiki's Delivery Service. I really need to. I really want to. It's just one of those things that it's like, when do I sit down to watch a movie, you know? But I feel like I need to have like a little Ghibli spring. Okay, the next thing that I'm seeing is the Honey Witch Berry Crate. Oh my goodness. This is so cute. I almost bought one of these, but I have issues with textures. I'm very sensitive. Sensory problems galore. I don't like berries because the seeds. But this is so cute. Oh my goodness. I'm obsessed. I feel like I need to start forcing myself to like berries just so that I can use this in my fridge. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Oh, I'm thriving in this economy. These things are great. Socks? I get socks too? Socks with cats? Oh, sorry, they're foxes. My bad. This is Once Upon a Broken Heart sockses. Oh, I can take sockses? Socks. Oh, bam. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So the back says little fox and there's little foxes. I love getting socks. They make me so happy. It really is the small things. The next thing is an Addie LaRue constellation necklace. Oh, pretty. So it's just a little constellation. I think I have the same constellation but in a locket that's silver. I mostly wear silver jewelry, but this is very cute. I think on the days that I pop my jewelry on that's gold, this for sure could be worn. Okay, the next and last thing before the book, we have the Rose Bargain Embroidery Kit. I really need to do these. So this is the design here on the back. I have this is probably my 5th by now. I need to do these bad. I need to set time aside this spring when my job slows down a little bit and life goes back to normal. I absolutely need to start picking up my little hobbies and being a little cozy girl in the spring though. Like cottagecore, embroider, and color girl. Don't quote me. I got an email from them saying that something about either the February or the March tarot cards were incorrect. I don't know which one it was though, because I don't know the emails off the top of my head. These could also be characters from the Vampire Academy, so I'm not really sure, but they're cute and they look nice, and that's, most important to me. So here we have the book, The Rose Bargain. This is very soft core. This is not quite my vibe, but I do have a very small section at the top of my shelves for these lighter pinks. I think that they look nice. They're very pretty, but not totally my vibe. That's probably the traditional cover art. I do like it. It's fine. Feels like there might be an arranged marriage or something in this, but look at this. You're kidding. She looks like a little Cinderella or something. I'm obsessed. I love. Okay. Ooh. Okay. This feels like it's giving my Barbie dreams. I'm sure you all grew up with the Barbie movies just as I did. And I am living for this to be the vibe. Truly, is this not giving, The Prince and the Pauper or something? I need to know what this is about. England, 1848. The season is officially open, and the high society girls line up to bargain with the immortal Queen Moirin for qualities that will win them suitors. A perfect smile for the loss of a finger, an exquisite talent for piano in exchange for one's happiest childhood memory. Lady Ivy Benton plans to use her bargain to uncover the truth about what happened to her beloved sister Lydia, whose mysterious disappearance and reappearance means the Benton family have been cast out by polite society. But instead, Ivy's season arrives with a shocking twist. The Queen announces a competition to win the hand of her fae son, Prince Bram. Marrying the prince is a prize that could save Ivy's family from ruin. Yet every glittering fae deal has a rotting heart. And amidst lavish balls, vicious competitions, and a dangerous alliance with the prince's irresistible brother, Prince Emmett, Ivy realizes that At the center of his contest lies a dark plot that could destroy all of England, and her heart along with it. Interesting. Okay, so it's giving The Bachelor, giving the selection, and I don't know if that's a pro or a con in this moment, but it is interesting that she's, gonna try and get with the brother Emmett instead of the Fae King Prince, whose hand is wed for marriage or whatever. I don't know if that sounds quite as fun. I do like a competition element, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if the Queen Fae could just do these crazy bargains for things. Why offer up your son? And if you're gonna fall in love with it's also kind of giving a servant of earth, which I did really enjoy. So who knows? This could truly go in so many different ways. I could really love it or I could really hate it. And we won't know until we read it, but it's definitely giving spring core vibes. And then lastly, we've got the adult romantasy and the adult fantasy. Oh, yes, I knew this was happening. Okay, so the romantasy book, I totally forgot was happening. The Sweetest Poison. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I don't think I like this. So this is Iron and Ember by Helen Shore, and I don't know, I think I prefer the original cover. I have already read this. The back says the difference between poison and cure is simply a matter of dose. I think it's very pretty, but I definitely more prefer the grungier red vibe. I don't know. I just like the original cover more, I think. Let's see what this other side is. Maybe I'll switch it. Yeah, this is better. I understand that she's an alchemist, and so having his hammer be the main thing isn't quite the same, but I don't know, this just feels a little bit too soft for what the story is. But ooh, she is pretty. I just don't think purple would be the color that I would go for, but what do I know? I'm not in marketing. I do love that it's a little tome, it looks like a book. Elixirs and Tonics, a comprehensive guide. I love that. This is so fun. This is a cool way to do a little academia. So we've got Torge and we've got Ren from the Blood in Steel book 1 of the Legend of Thesmar series. And this is the book 1 of the Ashes of Thesmar series. And yeah, I got an arc. I read an arc. I love the little foiling images detailing. So I had an arc of this. I've read it. It was good. I picked up the audiobook a day before release as well. So I am fully, caught up on what this is all about. I think if you want to read this, I think you really should pick up the Legend of Thesmar series first. It really delves into the world. You get such wonderful characters, and a lot of those characters are prominent in this book. And so I do think that you need to read the first series before jumping into this, which I think is a big bummer for this being her first traditionally published book and being in a fairyloot, and people are going to pick this up and then go, I don't have a connection to these characters. I talked a lot more about this book in my wrap-up recently, so if you're interested in my thoughts, you can go check that out. Just because I won't go into super detail here. A lot of the original characters from the first series follow Ren on her journey as she goes to this prestigious alchemy school finally. She's been wanting this for years. This book is set 5 years after the Legend of Thesmar series. She goes to this school. She's joined with a couple war swords. Her ex almost lover, but not quite. It's a second chance. It's also he's her bodyguard, so there's a bodyguard romance. There is a lot of tropes, I think, jammed into this one, and this book specifically is a lot more romance focused rather than balance between fantasy and romance, which is what I loved about the original series, is it felt very balanced. This one is romance with fantasy backdrop. The school really isn't the star, and I kind of wish that we saw more. There's technically a tournament, but it's barely there. It's a blip of the whole story. This is not short. It's quite long, quite chunky. So overall, I think that this book was good. I think this book felt a little bit more like fanfare. I think a lot more people will enjoy this if they enjoyed the first series, just because you're following so many of the same characters. The new characters aren't really given a lot of spotlight. I really enjoyed this just because I like these characters, but I was disappointed by the lack of world building and plot happening in general. But I do say pick it up, but I do say pick it up after you've read the first series. But that's my little review. If you want more details, you can check out my wrap-up where I go more in depth, but I'll for sure be changing that cover because I don't know. It looks nice. It looks nice. The artist did good. I think it's pretty. I just don't think it's what I expect for the book after reading it. The adult fantasy theme is Divinity's Descent, and the book is The Scorpion and the Night Blossom. The Immortal Trials are about to begin by Emil Wen Zhao. This is a beautiful cover. I think this is absolutely stunning. It's so soft. I love that. The back says, "The Temple of Dawn cordially invites you to participate in the immortal trials." I love trials. We've just discussed this. Love the little scorpion on the side. Let's see what's under here. This is so pretty. I love them. They look so good. I love the reverse dust jacket too. And then the book itself. Oh, look at that. So shiny. Oh, she's so pretty. She's simple. Oh, lovely. Then we got the letter. What a map. And then on the other side, more character art. The immortal trials offer a second chance in a brutal world and are open to any mortal willing to risk the journey to the immortal realm. The prize for completing them is eternal life. However, first they must survive. I'm going to call her Anne, just because I'm not sure how to pronounce her name yet. Anne knows the prize can heal her dying mother, and that she'll need all the help she can get if she's to complete them. When a rival contestant, both powerful and handsome, promises protection and a chance of survival for both Anne and her mother, she will need to find out quickly whether she can truly trust this stranger she's falling for, or if he's the most dangerous player of all, for herself or for all the realms. Interesting. Okay, so we've got blurbs from Vanessa Lay and Allison Schaff. I didn't love that synopsis. The whole, Anne knows the prize of healing her dying mother and that she'll need all the help she can get if she's to complete them. I think maybe that means, compete in the trial. I don't know. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't think it's fine, but, I wish that wording was just a little bit better, but it's okay. It's okay. I am intrigued to see what this one's about. I like the art a lot. I think this might be one of the least exciting books out of the bunch. I would say this one is my bottom pick, and then I would say The Rose Bargain. Hard to really classify Iron and Ember, seeing as I've already read it, but it was an anticipated release, and I love the author. And then I would say these two are tied for the top. I'm so excited for these two specifically. These ones are nice. So overall, those were the picks. That is really exciting that I got all new, different books, and a lot of them I hadn't heard of before. None of them were really on my radar. That's very exciting. Now, if I had gotten the illumicrate, it would have also been a unique book. None of these were it. And it's one of those things where there was a controversy. A lot of people ended up skipping the February, so much so that I think illumicrate thought something had gone wrong, because they sent out an email being like, hey, there was an issue with our systems, which they have been switching things around, so could not be correlated, but it seemed a little strange. But they were like, hey, a lot of people got skipped for February, make sure that you go in and say that you actually want it. And I think it would just be that a lot of people did skip, and I think that was weird for them. I don't think this many people have skipped books previously, based off the top of my head of what I remember. And this is, maybe a bigger conversation for another day. I don't know if I'm quite equipped for the conversation at this current moment. I don't have a lot of the knowledge of the topic on just the top of my head right now, but basically, a lot of people skipped this book because of the author's political views and who she voted for. And I understand that illumicrate is not a U.S. company, so they might not always, dip their toes in what's going on politically. But there's been a lot of conversation since November about who authors are supporting, uplifting the views that they are talking about. Obviously, if you're writing a book, a lot of your own values get kind of thrown into them. I think Sophie Lark is a great example of that right now, just how authors need to do better. And I think that it's very important for us as consumers to decide who we financially want to back and support. And it was one of those instances where I, as well as a lot of people, felt that the February box was not worth supporting monetarily. I didn't want to give illumicrate money for the month saying yes, I agree with your decision, because there was a lot of uproar. A lot of people were like, hey, please don't make a subscription book for this one, just skip it, do something else. And I understand that there's months of planning for these things. It's not just you can willy-nilly skip at the last second or whatever. But they did put out a statement basically saying we want to diversify our authors, and we don't really care what their political views were. And that was just kind of ooh, not quite maybe the right thing to say, if you ask me. But I guess they're a company, they'll do whatever they want. I am small fry when it comes to them. It's not I am going to make or break their company. But it was, a very important conversation. I will of course leave the Reddits down below where people have talked more about it, and you can see some of the opinions of it, but basically it's just coming down to who do I financially want to support, who do I want to uplift on my channel. Obviously, I have 5 books, and I know that Helen, for example, she's not American, but I can't tell you the political views of every single person that I read or support, but I think people who are loudly sharing those beliefs on their Instagram or Twitter or whatever be it, I think there's going to be consequences for that, and I think that's okay, and I think that's fair and valid. And if other people with different political views would like to instead go uplift those authors, and like that's their right. But I myself did not want to support this author. I did not want to tell illumicrate that I thought this was an okay thing to do, and I'm just, putting my money where I can, putting my money into the communities that I want to support and uplift. I want to focus on making this channel diverse and a safe space for everybody, and it just didn't align with me and who I am. So I skipped it. It's not a total skip on all of illumicrate. I didn't cancel. It was just a big skip for the month. This was my first skip I think I've ever done, which, it's one of those things where I get FOMO of like the items. I'm like, okay, well, even if I don't like the book, like I'm not getting the items, but I feel like it's more important for me to make a small dent and have a little bit of a say in my content, in my money. So that is the little tea that I have. Nothing crazy, nothing insane. I don't have like receipts or anything. It wasn't like that big of a deal. It was just, small things. It's similar with the Sophie Lurk. I would not typically buy her books anyway, because it's not the author that I would, lean towards. I'm not a big contemporary romance reader, but I think that it's opened a lot of people's eyes. I think that we're realizing the rhetoric that's being spewed in certain books and how it's impacting communities, and I think it's important that we check ourselves and see who we're supporting. I understand people who have bought Sophie Lark books in the past and will be selling them or not continuing to buy their books in the future. I understand that some people have attachment to those books and want to keep on to them, and like that's fine. You don't have to get rid of things, but maybe just like be cautious of uplifting or talking about certain authors. Like maybe we don't review Sophie Lark books anymore. Not until she really changes her ways, at least. Because her statement was bad. But I'm going to stop rambling. I think I've said what I need to say on the topic. There's nothing, more to really shed light on. So that is going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know we're ending on a little bit more of a downer. But at the end of the day, you make your own money and you should spend your money wherever you want. And that should be an okay thing. And yes. Okay. I'm gonna go. I hope you guys are having a great day. I will see you guys in my next video eventually. Tax season's almost over. It's gonna be great. Bye!